Yeah, one of the most common questions that we get at Downforce Technologies is which was my best performing field and which was my worst performing field. Now, with the latest update of land management analysis, we give answers to just those questions. So, if we look at the screen here, we now have our field performance scorecard, which is surfacing for me the top three fields and the bottom three fields using the naming terminology that you've put into the product through our area of interest page. So we can see that for the time period selected, which is 2017 all the way to 2023, for me, paddock 18 was the best performer. So if I click on that, I'll zoom in on paddock 18. We can see that over the time period selected, there was a change of 32.9 tonnes per hectare. We can see that the common crops were wheat, canola, and barley. And as you can see with the little ranking here, it came first out of the 33 fields that I have uploaded. Now, I might want to see this in a tons per CO2 equivalent metric because perhaps this is for a report that I want to write. Now we can see when we take into account the tons of CO2 equivalent, this field has added 2,695 tons of CO2 equivalent, but now it's actually the fifth largest contributor to my SSE stocks, and the reason for that is area. Okay, if I go to the new number one, which is paddock 7, we can see it's a much bigger paddock and it's had good overall carbon sequestration, but because of the area, it's added the most raw tonnage to my farm. And again, if I change units, let's go to percentage this time. So it's normalizing for area because it's taking an average over the area and figuring out the carbon content in the soil, not just the raw tonnage. Again, paddock 18 is my best performer with 0.92% soil organic carbon added. So you can see here the different units will give you a different perspective for different use cases. So it's up to you really and what you want to achieve. Do you want to see the average content of carbon in the soil? Look at the percentage if so. If you want to look at productivity related metrics, then maybe you're looking at tons per hectare. But if you're looking at reporting, look at tons or tons of CO2 equivalent because that is effectively the carbon dioxide equivalent of carbon you've stored in the soil. Now, if you want to dig deeper and you don't just want to see the top three and the bottom three, click on the Analyze Fields button, and that will take you through to a data table here where you can navigate and uncover all the answers to all of your questions. I will just point out a couple of interesting features, which is you can select which fields you're viewing because you may just be interested in, say, your regenerative fields, which let's just say, for argument's sake, was paddocks 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 for me, then I'll only see those fields that I want to see. Okay. Similar for crops, you can hide or select particular crop types. I'll hit clear all so I see all of my data again and away I go. So I'll just go back. Just to recap, that is your field performance workflow where you can quite easily see the top performing fields and the worst performing fields for the time selected. And you can always hit the Analyze button if you want to see all of the available data. Thanks for watching.